The trainer grabbed the paw of the dog. The dog started yelping. The trainer did not let go until the dog attacked. Hello and welcome back to Canine Mind. Today we will be doing something different. This week will be very busy for me. So instead of taking a deep dive in a specific dog training topic, we will instead be answering to some problems people are having on Reddit. So what I did is I went to r/dogs, filtered on behavioral issue or behavioral problem, and sorted by news so it's still relevant to the person in question. I picked a bit of a variety in different topics, so I'm not regurgitating the same thing over and over again. So first things first is a post about a user having an issue where the dog sometimes pees on the bed. So let's take a look. First of all, he says that he has two dogs, both adopted. That doesn't necessarily matter. They're great, but they did this twice in 4 months. What am I doing wrong to handle this? I don't punish them, but I get frustrated. Which makes sense. It's annoying if your dog pees on the bed, you need to wash the sheets and everything. So first things first, the dogs did it twice in 4 months. This is way too infrequent to me to be a behavioral issue. There are a couple of different options. You always need to rule out the medical side first on absolutely everything, on every issue. First question, is it something medical? Do the dogs leak in other scenarios? Do the dogs leak throughout the day? Do they have issues holding their pee in different scenarios as well, not just at night on the bed? Since it only happened twice in 4 months, I doubt it's the case. Most likely this is just a dog that needed to pee and for some reason couldn't wake the owner up or didn't want to wake the owner up or just generally didn't know how to do that, it could even communicate that in a way. So he had to pee the bed because he had no other option. A couple of things you can do here. The obvious one is make sure that the dog pees right before bed. Right before going to bed, take a small walk just so they have a chance to pee. If you notice they don't really pee on that last round, you could also take their water away a couple of hours before going to bed. Generally, it is advised to never take water away. However, if this is an issue, it's an option you can take. If your vet ever recommends otherwise, obviously do not take the water away. What you could also do, but this is only if it happens more frequently, is put them in a crate. If they don't pee in their crate but they do pee on the bed, that will tell us a lot more. Because generally dogs don't pee what they consider their home. So if they're in a crate, they are enclosed, chances are pretty low they would pee. So then if they still pee in the bed, then you have a different issue. Then you actually need to make sure that they learn to pee outside. Maybe restrict access to the bed if that's the only location they do it. But then this evolves on a very different topic where you can't really have a solution ready for the issue. Dog training is not problem solution. You always need to figure out why that problem exists, and it's the core of that issue. The reason that behavioral problem is there, that is what you need to tackle. If you only tackle the symptoms, you don't handle the actual issue and it might actually evolve into something worse. So if the dog only pees in the bed, then we need to investigate deeper and the solution will be different for each dog. I know I'm not really being too concrete right now, but sadly that's the issue with dog training. And the issue with dog training online is that people really want problem solution, but it just doesn't really work like that. And also online dog trainers offer that problem solution and it works for some people, doesn't work for a lot of other people. That's just because the underlying cause of the issue is not the one being tackled with the solution being offered. Next up. Now this one is pretty bad. If you want to read the entire thing, pause the video. So basically she has a puppy, 6.5 months old, so in puberty already. The problem is the dog is reactive. So what she decided to do is she decided to take a puppy course, a 6-week training program for puppies. What happened in week 5 is that the trainer wanted to simulate nail clipping, so she would take the dog's paw and if the dog would yelp, she would not let go. She would wait until the dog stopped yelping and then let go to reward the calm behavior. So what happened here is the trainer grabbed the paw of the dog. The dog started yelping. The trainer did not let go until the dog attacked. The dog bit the trainer. Wasn't a very big deal. But then the trainer told her that she needed individual private courses, which probably would cost a lot more. This one really grinds my gears. First of all, I'm not familiar with these kind of training programs. These seem to be a very American thing. America seems to be really focused on for-profit training. For example, myself, I teach hundreds, if not thousands of dogs a year. I do not make a single dime from it. We do not have these 6-week training programs. You just pay, I believe it's like 50 to 100 euros a year. You get access to all group classes for the entire year. We always look individually at each dog. So if you have a puppy, you obviously start in the puppy class. But it's we who decide, okay, that dog is ready, he can go to the next class. That dog is ready, he can go to the next class. Because these training programs don't make much sense to me. You have all kinds of different breeds, different histories, different ages, different people that have a different amount of time to spend with their dog, to train at home. So one puppy might be finished in 3 weeks, the other one might take 2 months. It's not really relevant to the issue here. Just to give you a bit of background, I'm not familiar with these specific courses. I don't know if this is normal or not. Anyways, the dog has a bit of a history, is a reactive dog. The dog does not like being touched, does not like the paws being grabbed. And so signals to the trainer that she does not like this. Apparently the other dogs did stop eventually, and so the trainer let go. Generally this is still not recommended to do, because dogs follow something called the ladder of aggression. Basically, before a dog gets aggressive, it shows a whole bunch of other stress signals. It starts with lip licking, looking away, yawning, and then evolves into actively trying to flee or hide. Problem here is, as you probably figured out yourself, is that the trainer is holding on to the dog's paw. There is no chance to flee. So the only thing the dog can do is remove the threat. It cannot remove itself, so it needs to remove the threat or the perceived threat instead. Bite, the trainer lets go in shock, dog is able to flee. Not an aggressive dog. This is a big issue where this happens and people then think you have an aggressive dog. It's not an aggressive dog, it's a scared dog that tried to get away, couldn't, and so had to escalate. The problem here is that now the dog has learned that biting works. She tried all kinds of different signals, got ignored. The dog remembers that in the future. Okay, someone's approaching, someone is holding me, someone is trying to touch me. I don't like this, I will signal this in this way. Okay, the message is really clear, I will just try to get away in a different way. Doesn't work, now I need to attack, I have no other option, I tried everything. Oh, attacking worked. She backed off. What do you think is going to happen the next time someone comes over? Maybe it's even a child. The child just wants to pet the dog. What is the dog going to do? Do you still think he is going to show all those previous stress signals? The dog learned that doesn't work. Bite immediately. Yeah, then people really think you have an aggressive dog, but this is learned aggression. Learned aggression and aggression in general is something I will make a video on sometime in the future, probably relatively soon, where I will also go over the ladder of aggression. I won't go into it too deep in here. So, yeah, this is horrible. Definitely find a new trainer. This person definitely should not be allowed to teach any dog school. She lacks the very basics of dog communication. So, the solution here is find another dog trainer. However, you have a bit of a deeper issue now in that the dog has learned to be aggressive. You need to undo that before it gets worse, before it even has a chance to come up. Because maybe you ignore this right now, it doesn't happen anymore, and in a couple of weeks or even months, this scenario happens where someone approaches, snap, bite immediately. Fix this right now. What you do is, while the dog is eating, just gently try to touch the dog, the sides, try to pet the dog while she's eating. This way it is already getting reinforced because the dog is doing something it enjoys, hopefully. The dog is eating, it's something positive. Just pet the sides, slowly work up to the paws, then try to grab the paw, and so on. Not in one day, not even in 1 week. Slowly build up to this. If your dog allows for the paw to be grabbed while eating, then you can maybe try to do it in a different context. Still, have treats ready, make it something positive, train it, and then after a while, if she's doing really well with that, get other people to do it. Again, not immediately to the paw, slowly work up to that. If your dog shows any stress signals, stop immediately, take a step back, make it positive, and slowly build up again. Dog training is not one straight line up, it's up and down and up and down and up and down. This touching thing is something I generally advise when you first get a pup, just while eating. Touch the ears, touch the paws, touch the tail, the lips, anything. Not too much, obviously, it's kind of annoying when you're eating and someone's touching you all over the place. Just once in a while, so your dog gets used to that being normal. Again, let's say you have a child over, what do childs like to do? Ooh, dogs, tail, grab, pull, dog gets startled, bites. You have an aggressive dog. No, you don't. Next up, this is quite a long post. My dog keeps shaking in the car. I'm not reading all of that. So let's make a couple of assumptions. My dog keeps shaking in the car. I'm not assuming it's an excited shake, like, oh yeah, we're going somewhere, we're going to the dog park. This is probably what I would assume is an anxiety response. I think that's what the user means. So how do you fix this? Dog is scared of the car or of driving in the car. You want your dog to relax, but first of all you want your dog to associate the car with something positive. What someone in the comments has suggested is take your dog to fun places, take your dog to the dog park, to the McDonald's, get some chicken nuggets. Thing is, for your dog to link two activities, the time between getting in the car and the driving and actually arriving at that place is way too long for your dog to make that connection. So what I do notice is that most people immediately jump to medication. Hey, give your dog this, give your dog that. Go to the vet so you can get this pill prescribed so your dog chills out. This is not tackling the core issue though. Unless your dog is drugged out of his mind, this is not going to help. Also, I don't think you want your dog to be that passive when you're also going to a dog park or something. So definitely fix the underlying issue, which is that your dog is afraid of the car. What you want is for the car to immediately be satisfying with something. What you can do is make the car the dog's feeding place for now. Every time you feed your dog, you just put the ball in the car and that's his or her feeding place. That way the dog gets excited to jump in the car. You don't do anything with the car. Your car is just standing there, it's not even turned on. Just put it in there until you see that your dog happily jumps in the car. Now, next step is you want to make sure that your dog can also relax in the car. It's not just jumping in because yeah, food, eat excitedly, leave. You also want your dog to just lie down and relax. So after a while, once you notice your dog is pretty comfortable with jumping in the car, is not too afraid of it, same thing. Dog jumps in the car for the food, place the ball down, close the door, you join the dog in there for a couple of minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, slowly build up. What you want to get is that your dog eventually just relaxes. After he's eaten, what you want to get is that your dog just lies down. Now, don't give him the command to lie down. This is not a thing where he has to listen to your command. This is a thing where he just needs to learn by himself that that is a place he can relax, he can chill. And if you start to give your dog commands, lie down, then get frustrated because he doesn't lie down, try to force him in different ways, it's just going to add a lot more stress. He's definitely not going to associate the car with something positive. Just leave him be. Could take days, could take weeks, who knows. Your dog now can relax in the car. Next thing you do, start up the car. Either while he's already eating or afterwards. This one doesn't really matter that much, depends on the dog, see how he reacts. If he ate, then relaxes and then you start the car and he's still relaxed, that's the best scenario. If he jumps up, is a bit startled, wait a bit, see if he lies down. If he's too stressed, again, just open the door, quit the session. You do not want to force your dog to be stressed in a scenario where you want to associate it with something positive. So if that's the case, you can also just start up the car already while the dog's eating, or even before the dog is eating, start up the car, then get the dog in the car. Until you get to the same point where your dog can just chill out. Only then will you start to actually move the car. Even if it's just a couple of feet, very slowly. You're not even exiting the driveway at the start. Just slightest movement. Is your dog chill? He doesn't need to lie down necessarily. You just need to see that he's chill, that he's not anxious or stressed. If he's chill, build up the distance. Outside the driveway, inside the driveway. Does that work? Do that a couple of times. In, out, in, out, in, out. Is he still relaxed? Maybe go around the block. Is he still relaxed? Well, now you can just build up from there and eventually you can go anywhere. So as previously mentioned, the comments all refer to medication, which I would not recommend unless it's that severe. But one thing I would recommend though is Adaptil. Adaptil uses pheromones to calm your dog down. It's proven to work, it's amazing. You have it in all kinds of forms. Completely safe, you do not need a prescription, it's freely available and it's a natural relaxing tool. You have it in all kinds of ways. In this case, I recommend the spray. Before your dog jumps in, you just spray it in the car 15 minutes before so it has a chance to work. And then when your dog jumps in, those pheromones are there, those naturally relaxing pheromones, and it could help your dog chill down without him actually getting drugged. Something that could also work, something else entirely, something that I noticed with my dog. When I first got my dog, she was also reactive in the car. Then I got a new car, I got a van, without windows in the back. So I made her a crate in the back of the car where she can just lie down, chill, there's food, there's water, there's toys. And what I noticed is the moment I got the van without the windows, she was relaxed, she just slept. So in my case it definitely had something to do with the being able to look outside. Seeing all sorts of triggers, getting excited because she wants to explore this or that. While in the car without windows, she just sleeps. Next up, separation anxiety. Separation anxiety is one of the most difficult behavioral problems there's out there. Having a dominant aggressive dog or fearful aggressive dog is way easier than separation anxiety. So let's read. Hoping for some guidance on helping my rescue pup, so that's important, that's a rescue. In the case of separation anxiety. She's 6 months old, okay, rescued last week, okay. She has been in the house for only 10 days. All of this is pretty important information. It's a rescue, 6 months old. You don't know the history. She's only been with you for 10 days. This is extremely fast to have developed separation anxiety. She sleeps throughout the night, it's fine. Okay, so basically all the rest is normal. So she goes crazy, won't stop whining and pacing around. So when they leave the house, they do crate her, which is advised for a dog with separation anxiety. But the dog goes crazy and won't stop whining and pacing around in her cage. This happens both day and night. So even if it's right at bedtime and we put her in a crate like she's going to bed, if she hears us leave, she cries. Haven't done this for more than 20 minutes because we don't want to traumatize her. Also, if I leave the home and she's with my partner, she cries, paces for a short while, but can eventually settle herself. This is a lot of good information. So, first of all, separation anxiety is rare. Most people that come to me because they have a dog with separation anxiety, I investigate and it's rarely separation anxiety. True separation anxiety, I've only had 1 or 2 cases. Usually it's just that they're bored, they're understimulated, they haven't learned how to be alone. But that's all very different from separation anxiety. Separation anxiety, like it says in the name, is anxiety, it's fear. And this fear can be very debilitating. The dog will not eat, will not drink, will not do anything just because it's so afraid. If your dog eats while you're away, it's not separation anxiety. Simple as that. Then it's just your dog has not really learned to be alone, which is very different. So I have taken specialization courses in separation anxiety. So first I took a specialization course, fear and anxiety, and then I took another specialization on top of that specialization, separation anxiety. Luckily someone else has commented, and this comment is actually pretty good, so let's see what she says. So I'm a dog behavior consultant. I was certified through Julie Naismith program. I don't know what that means. A problem in dog training in general is that most people just get trained by another trainer, which get trained by another trainer, which get trained by another trainer, and the trainer might be very good, but dog training, I notice, is a lot like politics. It doesn't matter how good you are, what matters is how well you can explain it. And so most dog trainers that I see are wrong or incomplete, but they can explain it well. They can articulate it in a way that it does make sense even though the foundation is wrong. Personally, I got my degree through a couple of years of formal education. So I have a proper degree, I had multiple teachers in the classroom, not just an apprenticeship with another dog trainer. Luckily, reading this comment, it's pretty accurate. Let's see what she says. So separation anxiety is a panic disorder. When dogs in this condition are left alone, they truly feel like they are in danger. It's not something they can control, which is perfect, just that. It's a panic disorder. Are you going to eat and drink and do all those things in a panic? No, you're going to look for a way out, you're going to bark, you're going to be loud, you're going to destroy everything because you don't know what to do, you're trying to get out. The goal of separation anxiety is to help your dog feel different about being alone, to go from panic and fear to calm and confident. Not necessarily, this can help, this is definitely a part of it. But again, what I'm saying is separation anxiety is not your dog not being used to being alone. That's very different. You will handle it in a very different way than separation anxiety. Separation anxiety, says in the name, is anxiety of being separated from someone. Separation anxiety is usually targeted to one or even a couple different people. This is different from being alone. If a dog has separation anxiety, I go there, I sit on the couch with the dog, but the owner leaves, the dog will still freak out. There's a big difference between not being able to be alone and having actual separation anxiety. Reading the original post again, what she did say is that the dog freaks out when she leaves. Even if her partner is there, the partner does help, but she still freaks out, which to me indicates that the dog is too attached to the woman in particular. The husband is still fine, he will do, but the main issue is the woman. In the comment she also says that during training it's really important that your dog isn't left alone long enough to panic. Again, very true. This is one of the most important things. When your dog is in therapy, from the moment you start training until the issue is solved or fixed, your dog cannot make a single mistake. You will slowly start working on this issue, and let's say your dog can be alone for 15 minutes already, and then something happens, your dog panics, you can start all over again. All progress is wiped. And what she recommends is desensitization, where you basically just leave the house for literally 1 second. Maybe not even, just open the door, close the door. Open the door, step out, back in, and build up from there, which is a great way to handle this. It's a bit incomplete, but that's fine. She does just say, hey, find a trainer, which again, definitely in separation anxiety is something you should do. Separation anxiety this is very complex. This is one of the most complex issues there is. Definitely do not just look online for a solution. Find a dog trainer nearby, preferably with a specialization in this because it is that complex, and go from there. So also, if your dog has separation anxiety, you're watching this video, don't think I'm going to give you all the answers just because it is that individual. What I would comment on this is I would just add onto this comment. The basics are fine. She isn't that complete, obviously, because it is a Reddit post, and cases like these need individual guidance. But a couple of things that I would add is that separation anxiety doesn't necessarily start when you leave the door. Often, people have an exit routine. They create the dog, take their jacket, put on their shoes, take their keys, close the curtains, and then they leave. And what you can see is that the dog already starts to panic the moment you create her or the moment you grab her shoes or whatever. Because your dog has learned that those are signals that you will leave. Very hard to desensitize the dog if the dog is already panicking before you even go. So that's the first thing. You will need to undo what your dog has learned. So first of all, write down exactly what you do before leaving the house. Even better, have someone else observe you and write it down. Or even better, get a camera and watch yourself, because often there are things you don't even notice that you're doing. Like checking if a certain door is locked. Next, you're going to do all those things, first in a random order, throughout the day, multiple times. Okay? My dog's relaxed. I will just put her in the crate, take her back out. I will grab my keys, put them in my pocket, sit on the couch. Stand up again, grab my shoes, put them on, sit on the couch. Take off my shoes, remove the keys, take my jacket. And all of these things so your dog gets confused in a way. Your dog just doesn't know what you're doing. Because your dog has learned that, hey, if you do this, this and this, that means you're going out, but now you're not. So what's going on? First do this in a random order, and then you slowly start to align the order into what you actually do. Until you do your entire routine without leaving. Until you notice that your dog doesn't even react or not in a panicky or fearful way when you do these things. Only then can you actually start to go outside and make progress that way. Another thing is, like I said, separation anxiety is actually the connection between owner and dog being too tight. So often these dogs will be what you would call Velcro dogs. You cannot go to the toilet without your dog following. Everywhere you go, the dog follows. This is not always the case. Often the dog is just happy to know that you're in the building, but usually these are the kind of Velcro dogs. So you're also going to start in the home with setting up boundaries. Your dog should not follow you to the toilet anymore, or when you're cooking you take a puppy pen to block the entrance, make sure that your dog cannot follow you in the kitchen. Doesn't matter, just have some boundaries so your dog learns that, hey, you don't need to be with me all the time. But again, this specific post is kind of difficult because on one hand you have the she's fine with my husband, but only after a while she's still panicky. But on the other hand, the dog's only been there for 10 days. So I would have to see it myself and do some tests to actually make sure that it's separation anxiety and not just fear of being alone. Just because those aspects of it are a bit weird. Okay, last. Or Jack Russell had lost calls. So there you have it. A couple of cases. Hopefully it helped the people in question. Hopefully it helped you. Hopefully you learned something as well. Please subscribe and ring the bell if you want to see more. I'm hoping to reach 1 million subscribers by the end of this week. Comment if you have any questions or topics you want to learn more about in future videos. And if you know anyone that could use these tips, just send them the video. Thank you all so much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.